Well, the dudes, just wanted to respond to this really quick because I don't think you're wrong in the sense that crop size is probably going to come down. I do want to just kind of clarify or at least throw out there some of the methodology from the USDA and part of why you didn't necessarily see them change yield numbers in the September report. So a lot of people have been like, hey, if they didn't change yield numbers in the September report, obviously they don't think weather really had an impact. That's not true. The weather did not play a role in their September numbers. Weather plays a role or is part of a model. I think I've brought this up amongst a bigger conversation. Weather is part of one of the models that they may use to throw these sort of yield numbers together, but it was really heavy survey driven. And so that is one of the things that I have been cautioning a lot of folks, when it comes to thinking, we're looking at the current balance sheet, with it containing these yield numbers that we're looking at, is the USDA did basically factor in or project record high ear and pod weights. I'm going to say with the finish, that's basically something that is likely to come down. And so in October, they'll actually do in-field objective, where they're weighing and using yields and things like that. And so if this crop is much smaller, than what is expected, it'll show up in two different ways. First off, it'll show up in the cash market like we've talked about, where you'll see spreads kind of firm a bit. Basis may be a bit better than expected, or at least not widen out as we work our way through harvest, especially, it'll be something that'll really tell us if we're moving through harvest at a fast clip. But then, of course, the USDA will update their numbers based on actual figures and all of this jazz. And so it could be January or even later. But as they work through and get better data, they'll update their numbers. And so we can hate on the USDA all the time. And I'm not saying this person in particular is hating on the USDA. I'm just saying, we can kind of be frustrated by the slow pace of their numbers. But it definitely helps if folks in the industry, not talking about this guy either, talking about traders, analysts, like analysts don't spend any time understanding the methodology behind these numbers that the USDA puts out. If you understand the methodology, it helps to kind of help make it make sense, or at least be prepared for what changes could come down the road. And so I'm telling you this simply because weather didn't play a role. The USDA didn't look at August weather and say, oh, we should probably trim soybean yield because it finished really dry. It's one of those things where they just took the survey data and a couple other components and were like, it looks the same. So just want to throw that out there. Happy whatever. This is just a response, I guess.